if we one by one kind of drop off during the course of this podcast,
Well,
you'll know why.
you know,
That's a little scary because sometimes you tend to go quiet for 20 minutes in the episode, and I wonder how many people are going to go, wait, did Grant succumb to paint cubes?
well, hi everyone. Welcome to the Semi-Bookish Podcast. We're not in the meeting room where we normally are today. We're in our freshly painted heritage room. It's a very beautiful color, but there's absolutely no books in here, and everything's
It's a little eerie, but also not too bad.
not too bad.
Yeah.
Should we just get started right in there?
All right, Grant,
Go down the line.
what are you reading, playing, watching? What's entertaining
What's entertaining you today?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, I'm reading Toni's book currently. So
Woohoo!
actually,
Which we'll get to the
vaguely
next
know what I'm
episode.
talking about in the next episode.
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah.
More than vaguely.
No. Game-wise, I've been enjoying the game Brutal Orchestra, which I can't remember if I've mentioned that.
You've
yet.
never mentioned
No.
Brutal
Okay.
Orchestra in your entire life, and I'd love to
So-
know more about this.
So it's like a roguelite, like a like kind of JRPG combat-inspired thing.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
It's inspired by the paintings of Hieronymus Bosch, which I'm sure Aaron.
Interesting.
So like you're fighting creatures based on his paintings and stuff, and collecting, companions and stuff.
Is this on Steam?
It is.
Ah.
It's really cool. It's difficult. There's a lot of moving parts because everything runs on pigment. Like your attacks run on pigment.
Oh, and like it slowly goes like blackout over time.
Kinda, yeah. And
Interesting.
the enemy's health is pigment and
Oh, this
stuff.
looks interesting.
And so, like, if you get damaged, you bleed pigment of a certain color, whatever your color is at the moment.
I love
Same
What is this
enemies,
other
but
thing?
if there's an overflow of pigment, everybody in your party starts to take damage. So you need to kind of
maintain the pigment.
maintain that, and sometimes you may want somebody to be damaged a little bit, so you can get that color pigment to use for somebody else's attack or ability.
Wow.
But it's really fun.
Yeah.
I haven't beaten it yet. It's hard.
Sure, yeah,
And I'm not
yeah.
that good. But game wise, that's what I'm doing. I've seen some cool movies lately.
Ooh.
I watched Friendship with Tim Robinson. Which these days, well, he kind of started out as a writer / he showed up in a few skits for SNL.
Yeah.
He's very out there type of humor.
Sure. Yeah.
These days, he's more known for his sketch show. I Think You Should Leave, which is really funny.
Oh, yeah. Is it?
Yeah, he
Nice.
definitely pushes like cringe humor to his limits. Where you're like, I can't sit through this, but it's hilarious.
Nice.
Friendship, he's kind of a suburban husband and father. He meets Paul Rudd, who's a comparatively much more exciting
Yes, that
person.
movie. Yeah.
Yes, and he kind of gets a fixation on him. Constantly trying to impress him and stuff.
Yeah.
It gets way darker and sadder than I thought it would, but it definitely plays into his
Okay. Because
style.
the trailer seemed as though it could go either full tilt comedy, full tilt dark,
Mhm.
or maybe do some weird dance between both. But I wasn't
Yeah.
sure by the end of the trailer which position was going to be uppermost.
Mm.
So do you feel like there was a lot of balance there, or?
I think there's a good balance.
Okay, nice. That's very nice. Yeah.
I would classify it as a dark comedy.
Ah.
Overall, if I had to slap a
Love
label
a
on
good
it,
dark comedy.
as do I.
Yeah.
It's got some cool cameos from I Think You Should Leave, which if you're a fan of the show, you definitely recognize them. So
That's
I enjoyed it.
fun. Oh, cool.
I've been continuing working through the films of Ingmar Bergman, who, if you don't know, is a Swedish film director. Most people know like images from The Seventh Seal, even if you haven't seen The Seventh Seal. The knight playing chess with death and stuff.
Right.
So I watched Fanny and Alexander, which is 5 hours long.
Ooh.
5 hours?
Technically released as a miniseries and then condensed into like a 3-hour movie.
Where'd the other 2 hours come from?
I don't know what the difference is between, because I've only seen the 5-hour version. So I don't know what was removed. Maybe some stuff was added. I'm not entirely sure. But just from the version that I saw, I really enjoyed it. It almost feels like a dark fairy tale in a way.
I love dark fairy tales.
You more or less follow the titular characters, their brothers and sisters. They come from a wealthy kind of Swedish family. It starts out kind of idyllic, but you slowly see the cracks in the family and how that works.
Yeah.
Kind of a Royal Tenenbaums type thing.
Sure.
And then some stuff happens. They no longer live where they used to live. There's an evil preacher involved.
Love that.
As there usually is.
Yeah,
These days.
Well, true. And without spoiling, there are some like possibly supernatural elements that come into play. Many of them can be written off. There's one moment that kind of like, did that just happen? Like, he does play with that a lot, like with illusion and reality and stuff. And that's definitely a theme with this film.
Wow. Sounds like Nathaniel Hawthorne on crack.
Maybe. I wonder if he was a fan of Nathaniel Hawthorne. I don't know.
That sounds really cool though.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah. So definitely watch it if you have the time, or if you have less time, watch the movie version.
What's it called again?
Fanny and Alexander. It was kind of supposed to be like his swan song, culmination of all his various themes. He came out of retirement eventually, but
okay. But
made a few more films. But
wow.
Definitely feels that kind of climactic or whatever.
Yeah.
I also watched The Passion of Anna, which is another one of his movies. Much shorter, much more compact, more confusing. Definitely, it feels kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not cut and paste, but fragmented. Very purposely fragmented.
Yeah.
It's, so Max von Sydow.
I love that.
Yes.
Man.
No, he's one of the best actors.
Yeah, he's
for those kids out there, and kind of tied to the theme of today's episode, he voices the main Greybeard in Skyrim.
He
does?
does.
Yeah, the super deep voice guy.
Max von Sydow.
Yeah, no, he's a great actor.
He also happens to star in one of the worst movies ever made, called The Force Awakens, for about 2 seconds at the beginning of the film, and then they mercifully kill him off.
Yeah. So this one takes place on an island, or a series of islands, in Sweden. This guy, he divorced his wife recently. He meets this woman whose husband and son were killed in a car accident, which he may or may not have been responsible for. Meanwhile, simultaneously, there's this mystery person going around the island killing animals, and like burning down barns and stuff. And it's kind of, the war in Vietnam is kind of in the background the whole time. So you're like,
In the background the whole time.
so it slowly ramps up, and you're like, are these characters slowly losing their minds, or is just the world going crazy?
Interesting.
Like I said, it's very fragmented. It breaks the fourth wall a few times. There's like interviews with the actors, giving their thoughts on the characters that they're playing. So it's playful in that way. Not my favorite of his that I've seen. I think it feels a little undercooked, I guess. Not
Sure.
that that's like a super in-depth criticism.
Was not cooked enough.
Was not cooked.
Needs to go back in the oven for another 40 to 45 minutes.
I wonder how much Pan's Labyrinth specifically, or Del Toro in general, is influenced by Bergman.
That's a very good question.
Because
I've never
those
looked
two
into.
films you just described feel like something
A Del Toro film.
could have done, and Pan's Labyrinth in particular, with having like stuff going on in the background that's clearly like historical and traumatic for those nations, but in the forefront is this bizarre dark fairy tale that you're not sure, is it connected to what's happening in the background or is it not? And Pan's Labyrinth I think draws a bit of a harder line underneath it than those two, but it still has that similar kind of vibe and frequency that you get in a Del Toro movie when he's not doing franchise work.
I'll definitely look into that, because I've never looked at if he's made any statements on if he's been inspired by
Yeah, I just was just curious about
Come
that.
back
'Cause,
next
film
time,
directors
send me that
yeah.
always know those things.
Research project, you have homework now, son. Congratulations.
Yeah, so I like I said, it's not my favorite of his, but it's still a very good film.
Yeah.
Definitely watch it if you want to see something that challenges you.
Oh, sure. 5 hours.
Well,
That
yeah,
would do it.
the other one,
Yeah. But like Passion of Anna, you were saying probably would also be challenging.
If you want clean cut answers, definitely don't watch it, because that's not going to happen. But it's definitely thought provoking, and I'll probably watch it again sometime.
Oh,
it seems
nice.
like a film that'll reward multiple viewings. So, that's what I'm up to. Tony.
Love it. I'm going to defer to Aaron because it's my birthday
that's
episode
true.
and I don't have
Okay.
to go until I want.
Well, so
Aaron.
first off, I'd like everyone to know, as I was scrolling through TikTok before we started this episode, Sarah Beth Durst just announced another book for her Spell Shop series.
Shut up.
Called Sea of Charms, and she just revealed the cover.
Shut up.
It's got blue sprayed edges, and it's adorable.
Now, is that the direct sequel, or I thought there were 2 before that, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah,
There are 2 before that.
So she has, hold on. The Spell Shop, which is book 1, and then book 2 is the Enchanted Greenhouse.
That's right.
So
Okay.
this is the newest one, and so she literally just revealed it on her TikTok, like, maybe about 15 and a half hour ago.
Wow.
15 minutes, half an hour ago.
Only ever read Sarah Beth Thirst's debut called Ice. If you have not read it, track it down, read it. You will not find another fairy tale adaptation better than it. I promise you, because I haven't yet. So anyway, you were saying.
Aaron's entertainment for the next while. I've been continuing playing 2 Point Museum. There's like multiple games on the stack, so just like bear with me for a second.
Yeah.
So 2 Point Museum, been playing that. It's been lovely. It's been hilarious. I currently have a hilarious jungle. No, it's not jungle themed, but a jungle museum that's alien themed. Like there was like an alien spaceship crash, and you have to go to the moon and all this other stuff. And your museum is like on platforms held up by like trucks in the air. It's actually kind of adorable.
It's kind of fun.
I have it set where like part of the museum is the actual stuff where you go to the moon for, and then hilariously enough, the other part of the museum is a supernatural museum.
Naturally.
So I have this hilarious. There's this hilarious little thing that you can get, and it's like one of the first artifacts that you can get for the Supernatural Museum, and it's a doll in a case, kind of like an Annabelle kind of doll. And the really funny part is you'll put her down, and she stares at you, at the camera. And when you move the camera, either you rotate it around or you move it around a little bit.
Yeah.
She'll follow you around. Like, her head will follow you the entire time. So if you go right behind her, her head does a full 360.
I don't like that.
I say my favorite part about it is you can add extra buzz or extra, like, talk around her that people will come visit her more if you give her a name.
Oh.
So her name is Betsy. Every single time I play the game, her name is Betsy. And so I've been playing that. Ages ago, I was like, I'm going to play through all the Final Fantasy games. And I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
I finally started continuing Final Fantasy 2 after a slump of not wanting to play it because the leveling system is significantly different from every other Final Fantasy game that exists.
Oh.
It is the only Final Fantasy game with this specific leveling system. And it sucked so bad that they never went back to it ever again.
Okay.
Basically, instead of you getting like a traditional, like, oh, I've reached the top of my EXP, I'm leveling up, I'm on the next level now. They will, like, level up little parts. Or, like, you use your sword enough times, it'll level up your sword skill or things like that. But you never actually officially level up.
That's
ever.
Kind of dumb.
It's annoying to all that's holy because, like, you in traditional Final Fantasy games, you get fire as like your spell, and then there's Fire, which is like a little bit more powerful.
Yeah, the Elder Scrolls version of that is you get like a flames, and then you get Fireball.
You get fire, and then you get Fire, which is the last one, and then it's like significantly even more powerful.
Yeah.
You don't get that. You just level up the fire skill up to like level 16, and that's technically your super hardcore fire skill.
Well, I can see why it didn't catch on.
The storyline, though, I think is pretty interesting. I've already feel like I've caught on to a few things, and I don't know, and so you're getting my first reaction here.
Sure.
Is the game starts where you're kind of like a part of a little rebellious group to this empire who is taking over like your country, and has like kind of forced your royals out of their castle, and so you and your Freon and his 3 friends, I think it's Leon and then Guy and Maria. All 4 are part of this like little town, like guerrilla warfare type group. They go fight and fails immediately, like not a great time.
Yeah.
And so Freon, Guy, and Maria, all 3 wake up. Leon, or whatever the last character's name is missing.
Oh.
Nobody knows where he is. So, yes, you're helping out with trying to stop all of this stuff from happening, but you are the you are technically, like, your main thing is you want your friend back. Where's your friend? Meanwhile, there's this dark knight on the opposite side who's been causing chaos the entire time. And he's mentioned something of, like, they don't know what's really going on or something. And I sat there and I went, that's their friend. That's their friend right there. And he's...
Ah, so that's your prediction?
That my prediction is
Okay.
the villain is their friend
friend.
the entire time.
Oh.
Not amnesia, but just on the other side the entire time.
Okay, sure. Do you think it's more coercion than amnesia, or
Maybe. Like I said, I have
You
no
don't know.
idea. Don't
Okay.
you dare spoil it for me. I'm not fully attached to these characters.
Sure.
In the sense, like, with the Pixel games, they're not as, like,
Fleshed out.
fleshed out. There's not as much
Sure.
happening
Yeah.
or personality.
Yeah.
Though I will say they get to actually talk this time, and they actually have
Oh, right, 'cause they have
dialogue.
the voice, because voice...
No, they don't have voices.
Oh, they don't have voices yet. Oh.
No, but they actually
okay.
have dialogue. Like, they're actually communicating with like, people involved and stuff. So that's
cool.
great, but they're not, like, the people who are constantly, like, chit-chatting.
Right.
I say the most difficult part of the game isn't even, like, the fighting or anything like that. It's the fact that, for an achievement, you have to learn all of the passwords
Oh.
to be able to ask people information, and you can easily miss those.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
it's the same thing with the chests. If you don't go and explore, like, every single room and find all of the chests in, like, one of the airships that you have to literally explode, you will lose out on that achievement.
Interesting.
It's
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
it's interesting that way.
Yeah.
And then I'm playing Sims because I just started that back up again.
Yeah.
I was on a hiatus for actually a hot bit there
Oh, okay.
because they updated and it basically broke, like, legitimately every aspect of the game. It was very hilarious. So I just restarted again. I had to start a whole new brand new save, so no more alien farm, which kind of sucks. But right now I have a spellcaster and a vampire
Nice.
in a marriage, and I'm trying to decide that if she dies, she's the spellcaster. If she dies, does she reincarnate herself and he has to find her over and over again? Or do I let it go and have him be like the ancestor that basically trains all the rest of the kids? I haven't decided yet. They have not got that far. She is accidentally pregnant, though, because stuff happens. So we'll see how it goes.
My brain just broke.
Don't break your brain. It's okay.
I'm literally basing it off of the Epic the Musical. There's, like, a little section where Penelope sings to Odysseus that I will fall in love with you over and over again, no matter when or how or why or anything like that. And so I'm kind of basing it off of that, like the vampire and the spellcaster fall in love.
You should
And
scribble that down in some notebooks.
I
Hold
will.
on to that.
I will.
You're gonna want to use that. I'm just as your resident story goblin. You should.
And it's gonna be very
You should take
interesting because I feel like I might also do a thing where eventually they might do a reincarnation where the vampire becomes human, like just gives up vampirism, and then they have to continue finding each other over and over again, but in different aspects of life.
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
So it'll be very interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Tony,
Yes.
what are you entertaining yourself with?
Me. Okay, so I am finally joining the cult. It's not really a cult. Her readers are many, and I love that her readers are many. But I have just started A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, which is the first book of the Shades of Magic trilogy.
It's a really good trilogy. If you haven't read it yet, you need to.
Only 3 chapters in and kicking myself for not starting this when it came out 10 years ago, because it is so my kind of fantasy. If you are someone who loves any of the following, you need to be picking up the series right now if you haven't. So if you love Narnia, if you love Hogwarts, if you love Philip Pullman, if you love the always disgraced and horrible Neil Gaiman, if you love any of these authors, what they bring to fantasy, you need to be reading Shades of Magic by Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab. To start out with, she has 25 books. Take your pick, but I highly recommend starting with Shades of Magic if that's the kind of thing that you enjoy, because... Oh, and if you like Diana Wynne Jones. Because she's... I would say that at this point, she's probably closer to some amalgamation of, like, all of those things, but there's shades of all of those authors in just the first 3 chapters, and it's amazing. So I can't wait to see where she takes the story from there. Before I talk about what I'm playing right now, I'm trying to think, is there anything else I've seen? Oh, you know what? Actually, we'll talk about something I've watched recently, because I watched it when it came out in 2022 on Peacock, but then I had to get rid of Peacock because why?
Don't even get me started,
because streaming services are too much for me. So that was one that I could hemorrhage, and so I hemorrhaged it. But there was a series, which is why I got Peacock in the first place, called Queer as Folk, which was a modern readaptation of the gay classic from the UK, which became a gay classic in the United States. It was a cult classic. Every gay person of my generation or older remembers their Queer as Folk experience, because for a lot of us it was an awakening. We were like, oh, you can tell stories about us like this. Okay.
I was a baby.
Sure.
I wasn't allowed to.
So it was a very impactful. Both versions of the series were very impactful to their respective countries, and the remake was a big deal because they were finally including every aspect, or as many aspects of the queer community as you find now. So there were characters of color, there were, trans characters from every range of trans life. There's an adult character who is married to a man who discovers late in the series that she is actually a lesbian. And because she's a white woman, she comes out in the way that white women who have a lot of money do, by throwing herself a party with all of her friends where she comes out and says that her sons got their gayness from their mama. It's one of the best scenes, and the best part about it is that it's played by Kim Cattrall, the actress who's known for Samantha from Sex and the City.
Oh my god.
It's so great. I love it. But yeah, the Queer as Folk remake from 2022 is available on Amazon Prime for purchase. I watched it twice in a row, because I love it so much. It's messy queers just surviving trauma, and it's glorious, and it's wonderful. So there's that. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum there, in Turfland, despite the fact that
it's off the coast of Australia, right?
No, not the coast of Australia. But the underlying creator notwithstanding, I purchased Hogwarts Legacy for a ridiculous steal of a price. And the fact that I purchased it like 3 years after the game came out, and that it was super cheap. That meant that the devs were getting all the money that they earned, and that the turf is not getting any of it. And it is the very first time I've been able to experience that universe without her being anywhere near it, because she gets nothing. And I love that. It makes me super happy, because I can create, in this universe that I love so much, a gender fluid, black, dread-headed, scarred character. I named them Cornelius Spelby. They're a Ravenclaw.
Very Harry Potter.
Isn't it? Yeah, I know. I also kind of didn't realize it until Aaron and I were talking about this last week, that I gave my character the first name of the most hated, the Harry Potter character I hate the most, which is Cornelius Fudge.
Which I turned around and then went, you didn't name your character Dolores. What are you talking about?
Which is true, and I am one of those people that loves to hate Dolores Umbridge, but I will even give Umbridge more credit than Fudge, because at least Umbridge knew where she stood. She knew she wanted to be a villain, and so a villain she became. Fudge is a weak craphead who I will only compare to every person who is supporting the current puppet government of the United States of America, and that's all I'm going to say on the subject. So anyway, Hogwarts Legacy is wonderful. If you are someone who is struggling with your relationship to those books because of their creator, I highly recommend getting Hogwarts Legacy, especially if you love a good old open world RPG game, because it's got all of that in spades. It's beautifully crafted. The fact that Hogwarts is beautiful is no surprise, but the fact that the entire Scottish Highlands surrounding it is detailed and beautiful I really think it's the Elder Scrolls, it's the Hogwarts version of an Elder Scrolls game. That's the best way I know how to put it. It's great. It's really, really fun. Even the thing that convinced me to purchase it, honestly, was the comments where someone had given it 5 stars and said, I am not a Harry Potter person, I'm not even interested in Harry Potter, but this game is just a really, really well-made game, and compared it to games that have changed the shape of gaming. And I definitely think this plus Dragon Age Veilguard are already doing a lot of work to change the way that studios approach games, because they are no longer using as the default the grizzled, scarred white man with dark hair who has to kill everybody in order to save the world. They've started using other defaults, which is really nice, because we kind of need those. Because I want to play games too. I want to, kill the world to save it too. I guess, I don't know.
I want to
or
play
something like that.
I'm tired of the same grizzly male protagonist every single time.
The three of us could play.
I love Bruce Wayne, but listen, I can only play Bruce Wayne so many times.
Exactly.
Why, to me, Gotham Knights is kind of a little bit of a breath of fresh air.
Because you can play 4 different characters.
There's 4 different characters, and if you really want your grizzly...
You get 3 grizzled white boys instead of 1.
No, if you really want your grizzled white boy, you go for Jason.
That's fair. He is the guest.
And then if you want your lovely queer man, you go for either...
You either go for
Richard, you go Richard, or you go with Tim.
Yeah.
And it just depends on which way you're feeling. If you want to go one Starky way or the other Starky way.
And if you want the actual best fighter in the entire game,
you get Bud.
Yeah, which is pretty great.
Yes. Honestly, she is one of the best fighters.
Plus, they all have the Pixar problem, in which their butts are way too big for their body types, but none of us are complaining. So,
Richard canonically has the biggest butt. Though.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
Richard, he's there. It's there.
Yeah, Dick Grayson always does. So he's correct. Everybody else, for some reason, just has to compete in that game, and it's because I think half of the devs must have worked for Pixar beforehand, and were like, no, we can't create characters that don't have big butts. Are you crazy?
We do things here.
Yeah, this is how we do things. Yes, exactly. Anyway, so that's what I've been reading, watching, and playing, all in an effort to remind the world that art is art. The creators suck, or don't, whatever, but they're going to die anyway, and you're going to be left with the art. So there you are. What are we talking about today, Aaron?
You know what also doesn't suck?
What?
The new Oblivion remake. Which is what we were going to be talking about for your birthday episode,
we
weren't
are. So I feel like a bit of a...
Did you not play it?
I started it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I can say that much. I can say that I love it, the remaster look.
Yeah.
Because it makes the game so much easier to play.
I love...
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I love the fact that when they transferred everything to the new engine, because it's on Unreal Engine 5.
Oh. Okay.
When they transferred everything over, they transferred everything, including all of the bugs that were there originally, are also still there too, by the way.
That's funny.
So that's really entertaining.
Have you found Anakin Skywalker yet?
No. Where is he?
So he's in one of the Oblivion Gates. If you go in one of the Oblivion Gates, there's a pile of smudge of ashes that looks way too eerily familiar.
I see him crawling out of the lava.
Yeah, you realize that's where they found Anakin.
I've made it so far. Granted, I've just been running around and doing things.
Yeah.
I will say one of my most infuriating bugs that I've come across so far is there's this farmer guy in one of the cities, and I don't remember which one it is, but he's in one of the cities.
Yeah.
And he needs you to go find his 2 sons, because him and his 2 sons are supposed to go fight all the goblins at their farm so that they can get their farm back.
Yeah.
And he can't go because he feels he's too old and he won't be able to help. So he asks you to go in his place, so you go help him. If you're not careful, so this game is only supposed to give you 9 goblins to fight, but if you are not careful and you don't save right beforehand, you could get accidentally 30 in one go at the exact all at the same time.
I think I remember.
I'm not saying
instead of waves.
Yeah, no, all at the same time. And while you win, they all die. Which means you don't get the prize. Well, you do get the prize, but you don't get the prize from the sons, even though they technically, according to the quest, survived. Because it's not counted as a wave.
It's like the Frost Sword, right? Or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's Chilren.
Chilren, okay.
Which, if you play Skyrim, Chilren is a sword that is in a case in Mercer Frey's house in the Thieves Guild.
Yes.
That when you go investigate his house, it's under an expert or a master lockpick. You have to turn around and you have to pick the lock to be able to get it back.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yes.
And it is one of the unique swords that if you don't get it from his house ever, you are never getting that sword ever.
Yeah. All right, so I have a question for both of you. and I want Grant to answer first.
Oh no.
So that people don't think he died of paint fumes.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't even smell the paint,
Yeah,
so
I'm getting used to it.
Oh, wow. Oh, I think we're all going to be dead from paint fumes. You are listening to this. We are in hell, and we are having a great time. I'm sorry. I'm unhinged. It's no big deal. So, Grant
Yes.
and Aaron, what characters did you, like, what race and class and all of those things are your current Oblivion Remaster characters?
Okay.
Like, yes, I want to know. And by me, I mean all of the people who are going to be listening to this while I vacate the premises quickly and return after having washed my hands.
Well, I must admit, I didn't download the new version. However,
why?
No. I've been playing the Xbox version that I got years and years ago.
Oh, well, alright, continue.
Yeah, no, and I had to go back with the original, not the same class, but the original race that I did, which was a Breton. And this time I'm doing a Breton, what is it called? Geez, Witch Hunter, right?
Yeah.
Right. And, so it's going fine. I'm not the best at archery, but it is what
Breton?
it is. Yeah.
Do they have a name?
Grenton.
Grenton?
Which is kind of my default, fantasy name.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm trying to look up other classes because I don't remember what class I picked.
Yeah.
Hold on. There they are.
But I will say, I've seen lots of video and stills from the remake, and it does look beautiful and everything,
Alright, so my character is named Amaryllis, either Windsong or Stonehaven, and I can't remember which one I picked for her last name. I will find out and then come back in another episode and let you all know.
Mm-hmm.
But Amaryllis is a so this requires some context. I have a Skyrim character. Her name is Colette, and I think that's why it's Windsong, because that's what Colette's last name is in my game. Who's a Breton. My character's not a Breton in that, but she has an ancestor because she's half wood elf in Skyrim in my canon. And so she's not my Dragonborn. Her daughter is my Dragonborn. She's actually the head of the Thieves Guild. So, it's a whole entire thing. So I'm kind of following their ancestor, Amaryllis, who is a wood elf, born under the sign of, I think, the Lady?
I did the ritual. I did the ritual.
That's fair. I think I did the Lady because I needed the extra wisdom. And she is, I think, an agent class. Specifically, I don't remember off the top of my head. She might be agent, but she might also be a Nightblade. I don't remember. But she is currently, I think she's a Nightblade, but don't quote me on that. But she's a wood elf. She hails from wherever the wood elves hail from that I forget. She did not sign the contract. I'm talking about my character.
Valenwood.
Valenwood.
Valenwood, that's right, yes.
Thanks. And she is currently going through the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild both at the same time. Mostly the Dark Brotherhood because I am obsessed with Lucien Lachance and I refuse to not do Dark Brotherhood. If you know, you know. But if you don't know, I have this thing where... and it follows my thing. I have this in my canon. My canon.
Sure.
Amaryllis, who's my character, falls in love with Lucien Lachance. He kicks the bucket, not of his own accord, but because of stuff that happens in the quest line.
Sure.
Falls in love with Martin Septim. He kicks the bucket too, and not soon afterwards. And so she's like, "Fine, I give up." Accidentally becomes Shia Garath and goes insane. Because low key she was actually pregnant by Martin Septim, which leads to because he's the Dragonborn kind of character because he turns into Akatosh later.
But Martin Septim's a monk. Hasn't he taken a vow of...
Wait!
Okay.
Wait! Because it was the last battle. They needed to do something.
Okay. Sure.
Repopulate humanity. That's the job of the monk now.
And because he's supposed to be a priest,
priest.
But I don't think there's nothing in the Skyrim canon or in the Elder Scrolls canon that says they have to be celibate.
Yeah, that's true.
How do
I've
you
never
know that?
Because I researched.
Okay, no, that's fair. That is one of the things that is fascinating about Elder Scrolls games, is that there's little, like, world-building hints all over the place, so you pick up a random letter that you're just like, it's a letter in someone's house that I'm stealing cheese from, and then you're like, wait, what? And you find out it's a diary from someone who killed 5 vampires 10 years ago, and you're like, huh?
That child becomes orphaned, and moves onwards like 200 years in the future. Now we have Colette, who's my Skyrim character, who becomes the head of the Thieves Guild. Her best friend's head of the Dark Brotherhood, but Colette's daughter, Madeline, ends up being the one that gets the Lucian LeChance from Skyrim, like, ghosts that you can summon and follow you. So, like, he's technically following around, like, his lover's kid.
Yeah.
At the end. So I have, like, this whole lore, and so, because they're descendant from Martin, though, that's why Madeline is the one who's the Dragonborn.
Fascinating.
So I have, like, a whole entire, like, legitimate lore between the 2 games.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
And it's kind of like how I have an entire lore between Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas.
Sure.
Because it's my Fallout 3 character that ends up being the courier in New Vegas.
Huh. That's kind of cool. I like that. I'm playing an Argonian because I just wanted to play a lizard.
Lizard.
Sometimes you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Lizard.
Yeah, it's fun. And I prefer to play Argonians in Oblivion because in Skyrim the Khajiit are there, and if you're not playing Khajiit, you're wrong.
You don't play Khajiit in Oblivion?
I must have forgotten.
They're in Oblivion.
When I downloaded
Maik
this
the
game
Liar.
like 4 months ago.
Maik the Liar is in Oblivion.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Maik the Liar is an occurring character between, like, almost every single game. Like, he's in Morrowind too, I believe.
Yeah, he's on an island. Somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, it's
sorry.
this Morrowind. That's right. That's the Dark Elf one, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
In Oblivion, isn't he like constantly running between cities and stuff?
Yeah.
It kind of just happen around.
He's doing that in Skyrim
He's looking
too.
for calipers, basically.
He's doing that. He's doing that in Skyrim too. Except instead of him looking for calipers, he's just wandering around giving you life because he's an Easter egg.
Oh, that makes sense. There is a mission in the deluxe edition of Skyrim, though, connected to Maik the Liar, that also connects you to all of the other. Isn't it him? I know it involves the other group of guard, the other Khajiit that sit outside of
No.
of whatchamacallit.
That involves Karja, where you have to go get a amulet that he left at a giant's camp or something for Karja.
Yeah.
Mike, I don't think has one, but there is technically. So there's a mod in Skyrim called Live Another Life, or an alternate start mod, and you have to go find this guy named Shady Sam to be able to figure out what's going on with the Dragonborn. And I believe Mike the Liar is involved in that quest to even
Sounds
get there.
familiar, yeah.
So I think that might be what you're referencing. But out of all the Khajiit characters, my favorite's Jizargo.
Zargo's so unhinged. Yeah.
Yes, I know. That's why I
like
do
that.
his quest
Yeah, I do
and
this
get
too.
him to follow me. And plus, he's also one of the most strongest. He's one of the strongest characters in the game.
Yeah,
like
he's-
one of the strongest companions in terms of leveling with you.
That's true.
So I was like, "Say less, Queen. We're getting a cat."
I did finally kill him once. Not on purpose. He just got in the way of one too many of my fireballs, and
Because I usually carry the cat around, and then I carry Jizargo around, and then I carry Cicero
oh,
from the Dark Brotherhood.
oh right, yeah, I never do Dark Brotherhood.
And if you get rid of Cicero in the Dark Brotherhood, I'm judging you.
so with Oblivion in general, since we have, does anyone have a favorite Oblivion quest?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Absolutely, I have a favorite quest. I don't know if you have the same quest.
Because honestly, for me, Oblivion's all about the Oblivion Gates, and outside of that, I don't care. I just go and I find the Oblivion Gates, and I do what I need to do in between in order to get to the next one, and then I just start killing Oblivion Gates, because I feel like I'm killing Darth Maul over and over again, which is really fun.
Yeah, the Dremora really do look like Darth Maul.
Yeah.
It's really hard to pick a favorite. This one isn't like a super epic, story-related quest or anything.
Yeah.
I think it's an anvil with the like possessed house or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And where you like go down in the basement and everything's moved around and whatnot. There's a big sigil and there's like a hidden door.
Yeah.
I forget what makes you what the impetus of you going there is. Like maybe somebody asks you to investigate it. Like people are saying it's haunted or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know why my mind is going to that one.
Huh. That's not a bad one.
No. If I think of another one, I'll let you know.
Because there's like a series of haunted houses in Skyrim, where like you start in one place with a haunted house.
There's
and then
one
kind of
in Markarth, I want to say.
there's one in Markarth.
And it turns out it's like Molag Bal or something.
That's
Yes,
it.
that's the one in Skyrim.
Yeah.
You get a free house from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you
and
get
then
to keep
there's
the house.
one in Windhelm as well.
So that one's not exactly the house that you're talking about is actually one of the purchasable houses that you can actually buy when you become Thane.
It is, yeah.
That's the one that has to do with the butcher quest, which turns out to be the guy who owns the curiosity shop, because what he's trying to do is he's trying to kill these women so that he can resurrect his sister through necromancy.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I played that one time. I was like, what?
The mission in Oblivion where you steal the Elder Scroll, that's also very fun.
The Thieves Guild one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
In the Thieves Guild, the final quest line to become the actual Thieves Guild master is you have to go actually steal the Elder Scroll.
It's like up north
from the temple,
Oh,
which is my headcanon as to
That's interesting.
after you get it from them, you lose it, and that's why the Elder Scroll is like running around rampant in Skyrim. Because that's the one that my headcanon is like stuff happens to it, and that's the one that you have to go find.
Sure.
In a random location.
Yeah.
My favorite quest is called Whodunit.
Okay.
It's where you're trapped in the house, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a Dark Brotherhood quest.
Sure.
And you have to go to Skingrad, and
Which is not as dirty as it sounds, people.
No, there's a manor. You're kind of going there to to go to a house party in this manor.
Sure.
And he's gonna give you a key. He talks to you about this party. Your objective is to get rid of everyone in the house. But the really funny part is you can do this in multiple ways, because this is like a game of Clue.
Sure.
Where you have to somehow, or Among Us really, where you have to separate everyone and murder them, and then try to turn everyone against each other, and it's so funny because there are multiple ways that you can finish this quest.
Interesting.
So you can basically like play with them. You can manipulate all of your targets to go up against each other and then just get rid of each other that way.
Yeah.
You can snipe them from across the room. There's some poisoned apples that you can buy at one point.
Oh.
And then you can just like randomly give them to people or put them in their pockets and they'll eat them. You can bribe the guests. You can do so many different options.
Yeah.
And the really fun part about this quest is you actually have to talk to all of the characters and get to know them, because they're not going to give you anything in terms of how to get rid of these people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go talk to every single person in the house individually.
Mm-hmm.
And actually ask them for information and catalog it yourself to be able to go, alright, so this method will work, but this one won't, or maybe I can turn this person against this person. And at one point, because of all these people just like dying in the house, you have like 2 or 3 people who start they start to see you as trustworthy because you're still alive and you're like protecting them, and they're like, oh my god, you're still here.
That's
so they try to become your friends, and it's so funny when you get to like the last 2 people.
That's interesting.
It's my favorite quest because it is the most like elaborate kind of quest that you would ever see. That I have there's no quest that exists for like this in Skyrim in any way, shape, or form, except for maybe the one with the butcher, in the fact that like you can do the butcher wrong and then have to do a secondary quest on top of that. But like this quest is like my absolute favorite quest.
Wow.
However, it does lead to Lucy and LeChance dying later. But you know what? I will be fine with that.
That's really interesting. Huh. So in a world where I know. I'm just
In a
thinking
world.
about. Yeah, I know.
In a world.
I asked for this.
Tony did. They picked this episode.
In a world where you could manipulate both games either way you wanted to, like even more than you can now, if you could pull 3 things from Skyrim to put in Oblivion, or 3 things to pull from Oblivion and put it in Skyrim, which would you choose and which direction would you go?
In something I would love to pull from Skyrim and put into Oblivion is in Oblivion you do have the Daedra, but they're not, the quests that they have aren't as elaborate, and the Daedra and the Aedra are not as prominent in terms of stuff that you can do.
Yeah.
But in Skyrim they are, and they actually like interact with you and everything.
Yeah.
I would love to have that pulled over to Oblivion.
Agreed.
In juxtaposition vice versa, I would rather, and if that means less quests, then so be it. But I would have loved in Skyrim more elaborate quests like you see in Oblivion and or Morrowind.
Yeah, there's a lot of crap quests.
You get a lot of just fetch quests.
Yep.
In Oblivion, you still get fetch quests. But the fetch quests are more elaborate, where you have to talk to multiple people to get the information that you need. And in Skyrim, they're just like, it's in that cave over there.
I will say that as someone who was introduced to this kind of gaming from Skyrim, well, technically Oblivion, but more Skyrim, because Skyrim was just even more open in that weird kind of way that it is, it helped me realize just how much I want from an open world game. But the more, and also, you know, what I didn't realize that I have grown to realize is that I wasn't the only one. There's so many people who had no idea that this kind of game existed, and Skyrim was the first taste of that.
I would
and
also
what
love...
a morsel, right? Because it's like, but when you play other games like it, you realize Skyrim's limitations, and one of them is the number of fetch quests that it's just like, really? This again? This is the same as the last 12 that I've done.
Though,
you know, it's
like,
just in Markarth and not in Windhelm.
but like,
you know,
like I love how big the game is in Skyrim, and I love the open world. I feel like if there had been more care put into the quest, like I would not mind that there's like infinite amount of fetch quests. We can still have that.
Sure. So you've been having more.
A larger amount, because that does not take long for you to find random fetch quests in random places. That's fine. But I would have loved more places. I would have loved more quests with like the Forsworn, learning a lot about their lore.
Yeah, instead of just running into them and having to kill them for miles before you can get to Markarth.
Or you do that quest where you can release them, and then after that you just have your $1,000 bounty on your head that you can pay, and still become Thane of Markarth anyway.
Yeah.
But like you never like you get like if you side, and I've done this, if you side with the Forsworn in the whole Markarth sent to the mine situation, you get like armor, and I love that armor because it's full of so many really, really good enchantments, by the way, and you can get that and still side with the people in Markarth, by the way. There's like a treat that you can do that with.
Yeah, there is.
But after that, they go to a camp, and that's like the only Forsworn camp that doesn't hate you. Like, and they don't attack you. But outside of that, you still get absolutely nothing. There's no extra quest lines. There's no anything that you can, like, continue onwards. Like, what if I, like, fully wanted to become a Forsworn? Because I normally play Bretons in Skyrim.
Right.
What if I fully wanted to become a Forsworn and pillage the area?
And
like, there's no
option.
Extra quests.
That's true.
Something else that I wish they would flesh out more in Skyrim is the Bard's College.
Yeah, definitely.
The Bard's College is an actual faction you can join. However, it's just a faction of fetch quests where you have to go find all of these different instruments or all of these pieces of a song to be able to put together like a whole like little Burning Man situation festival that they do.
That's right.
In Solitude.
Okay, yes.
And so you can join, but there's absolutely nothing else. And I would have loved maybe, like, if you're doing the main quest line of Skyrim and you have to go to the Thalmor, instead of sneaking in via Delphine's Way, sneaking in via the Bard's College to be a bard.
Yeah, that
Like, that would have been so much more fun.
Yeah. I also wish that Delphine had been introduced earlier and there was more done, because when I remember completing Skyrim for the first time, which took me forever because I hate spiders. But when I finally got to the part where you get to Delphine and you're doing the missions, and then you get to the final dragons and you go to Valhalla, whatever. But it was at the point that I reached Valhalla that I was like, oh, this game is actually stupid. Like, not the playing, but the story is dumb. And I was like, I've missed nothing. I wasted all this time beating myself up because I couldn't beat, animated spiders. And I finally, faced my fears, did the thing to get this. This is crap.
The worst part about the main quest line in general in Skyrim isn't even, like, the storyline. It's the fact that, like, if you can skip, like, a good, big, giant portion of that whole entire main quest line if you finish the Civil War, because you don't have to go sit in the middle of that whole entire, like, we're gonna talk about and give, like, places over and have a truce for a hot minute. If you just finish the Civil War beforehand, which is normally what I do,
that's
I don't want to sit through this, you don't have to even touch that part of the quest line whatsoever.
Yeah.
So you don't really actually get Delphine yelling at you and going, like, hey, we should kill Parthenax, unless you go back to the Blades place specifically, and then she'll hunt you down and ask. So you don't even get that quest.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
I also wish the Civil War was longer.
There's a mod for that.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not pulling from Oblivion. That's just
no. There's an immersive Civil War quest mod where basically you can take the Civil War. One, the battles are much bigger.
Yeah.
But two, I think there's another mod that you can add on top of it where they turn around and they can take camps from each other.
That's fun. Kind of like an Age of Empires thing. Mm. That's brilliant. All right, Grant.
Yes.
What would you like to change about either game?
Well, so as far as like transferring something from one game to another, I would definitely transfer the class and skills system from Oblivion to Skyrim.
There's a mod for that.
Yeah.
I added that in there. It's so hard.
It's not the same though.
I know it's not, but I added it in.
Because you can tell it's not built around it, and that's definitely something I sorely miss in Skyrim.
Everyone download Requiem and cry.
So help me remember, because it's been a minute since I've played either one of them. Like, what's the difference there that we're taking from Oblivion and putting in?
I mean, like in Skyrim, it was basically replaced with the perk system.
And the stones.
Oh, I see.
And the
standing
stones. And the stones.
So in Oblivion, you only get, like, you pick your stone or whatever, and that's the sign that you're born under, and that's the one that you're stuck with. In Skyrim, you can just trade them out. You can trade them out as long as you find them, and that gets kind of annoying when I'm like, okay, fine, if I just need a new one, I can just fast travel.
Because it makes it meaningless.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's like the whole RP part of RPG, you know that.
Yeah, exactly.
To the point where, to me, Skyrim at times feels more like just a sandbox action adventure game.
Yep.
Which a very fun one at that in a fantasy setting, but it's not really 100% what I'm looking for. But,
yeah, absolutely.
But from Skyrim, like, to Oblivion, I would definitely bring dual wielding.
Yeah.
That's just so fun. A lot of the combat improvements that were made in Skyrim, which you guys have played though, like, do they? Have they made any changes, like, to the combat? Is it smoothed out or not really?
Not really.
Okay, because that is.
I told you that they transferred literally all of the code into the new engine. I'm not kidding. They transferred literally all of the code into the new engine.
I mean, like, when I say that the look of the game makes it easier to play, I think that's a me thing, like the aesthetic, because
They don't look like potatoes.
I am the kind of
potatoes.
Yeah, I have a strange game history in the sense that my brother and I played, the strict sort of Nintendo platformers. So, Super Mario Brothers, that Jungle Book game. I mean, just all those things that you do on the SNES. Then we went to Nintendo 64, and then I went to high school. And so I think I maybe played, like, computer games that I had like Age of Empires and Jackrabbit that I had played in middle school, but not as much, and so I just did not game until Oblivion, when I was in my early 20s, like 19, 20, 21, and it was the year that Skyrim came out, so I played Oblivion all the time because I'd never played anything like it, and then Skyrim dropped, So of course we had to play it because it was the new Elder Scrolls game, and my friend and my brother and I were all playing it, sort of rotating characters and things. And I remember staying up literally for weeks on end playing Skyrim, as if I had nothing else to lose. And it revolutionized the way that I approach gaming from that point on. So I feel like there was a whole time period where, while everybody else that I know who are gamers were playing games and exploring their own gaming options and getting into things like RPGs and open world and all of that, I didn't do that, and so now I'm like sort of retro gaming. Like I'm going back and playing, you know, The Witcher, and that's still pretty new, but like it's predicated on older things, if that makes sense. Or like Final Fantasy, like I just bought Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2 because, you know, I want to play at least one Final Fantasy game just to know, why do people keep playing these? Why are there, 20 of them now? Like, how many are there? 16. Yeah, there's 16 of them, you know? And Final Fantasy players have really strong...
and the most, technically.
Yeah, so, like, they have there are people that I know who have extremely strong opinions about all 16 games, and I'm like, 16? Like, you know, I'm still learning all those, so I feel like it's nice when I get a chance to rap about RPGs that I have played that have qualities that those of you who've played others that are from older time periods, you can see the pluses and minuses in a way that I can't, that I just kind of like, was it fun? No? Alright, I'm playing something else. Because, you know, that's still how I play. And my range of fun in a game is rather limited, I will admit, but, you know,
That's fine.
I'm still learning, I guess, I don't know. Yeah.
One more thing that I think Oblivion has that I missed in Skyrim is spell creation.
Yeah,
'cause that was
Oblivion has it, but Skyrim doesn't.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, you have potion making and stuff, which is kind of comparable, but I just loved crafting spells as wizard and stuff.
Yeah. I'm one of those Skyrim players that, like, the potion making and the enchanting, I can get really finicky about the enchanting because it comes along with creating armor. The minute you start asking me to create potions, I get pissy, which is funny because in Hogwarts Legacy, I wish that I could actually physically create the potions.
I actually adore
instead of just
potions
setting
in
it.
Skyrim, actually, and enchanting.
Really?
Yeah,
I love
no.
enchanting.
It's just
Yeah.
learning the effects that takes a while, but once you have like the known effects, it's
Yeah,
Okay.
for me, it's also because something that I like to do is I like to make Skyrim into my cozy game, and so I have a cozy house like mod, or like I get one of the extra houses,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, I can go back to my house with my 2 adopted like random children that I stalked and found in their towns because I know exactly where they live and where they're at all day.
Yeah.
And so I go back home to my steward, my possible husband from the Companions, who is terrified of spiders. Hello, Farkas, we love you.
I mean, yeah, we
and
do,
then
'cause I
and then you
relate.
enter the house, everybody's fighting some giant outside, and you're just like in your little place, just going, "Look at these! Look what I'm making!" And it's great.
Okay, that's actually really funny.
So, there's that, and there's the fact that I can steal all of the books I want in that game and then put it in a library.
Something I wish that you could import from Skyrim into Oblivion, but, the Oblivion gates are to Oblivion what the dragons are to Skyrim. I wish that the random appearance of dragons was in Oblivion, because wouldn't that be interesting? You're leaving the Oblivion gate, you think, oh yeah, I'm good, I did real good, and then boom, a dragon drops out of the sky. You're limping away from the battle, where you just barely defeated the Dremora, and boom.
More unscripted stuff in general, I think, would make Oblivion. But I mean, and of course, there was the limits of the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. If they do a re-release,